Factsverse presents 20 Things You've Been Doing Wrong Your Whole Life. Number 1. Cooking in a pot. Most people have cooked in a pot and had the liquid boil over. When that happens, it makes a huge mess all over the stove. This often happens when you walk away from the stove to do something else. If you want to keep that from happening, use a wooden spoon and put it over the pan. When the water boils up too high, the wooden spoon will pop the bubbles, keeping the water from boiling over. This will prevent a huge mess on the stove. Number 2. Threading a needle. If you've ever tried to thread a needle, you know that it can take several tries before the thread goes through the hole, if you ever get it to go through at all. This is because you've been threading the needle wrong your entire life. Rather than trying to slide the end of the thread into the hole, you should lay the thread down in the palm of your hand. Next, rub the pinhole over the thread. Rub it back and forth until the middle of the thread goes into the hole. Finally, pull one end of the thread and your needle will be ready for you to sew. Of the 20 things that you've been doing wrong your entire life, this one's kind of the most mind-blowing. Threading a needle is so simple, and yet most people don't realize how to do it the easiest way. Number 3. Peeling an orange. If you've ever struggled to peel an orange, there's a good chance that you're not doing it right. Most people just tear the peel off the orange. If you want to peel your orange easily, make a few small cuts around the orange. That'll help it to roll out, making it easy to take each slice from the peel. Number 4. Drinking from a juice box. Most kids love juice boxes. Most parents love how convenient they are, but they don't love the mess that they can sometimes make. When a child grabs the juice box too tightly, the juice can shoot up the straw and all over the floor like a red dye No. 5 cannon. If you know the right way to drink from a juice box, though, spilling won't be an issue. There are 2 tabs on the top of the juice box on each side. If you lift the tabs, it'll give your child something to hold onto so they don't have to squeeze the juice box to keep hold of it. Number 5. Using an extension cord. You use an extension cord because you need extra cord from your appliance to your outlet. It's not uncommon to pull the cord too tightly, though, and the plug comes out of the extension cord. Well, there's a simple way that you can keep that from happening. If you tie the cord and the extension cord in a knot in the area where the two meet, you'll never need to worry about the cord coming unplugged from the extension ever again. Number 6. Peeling a banana. Most people peel their bananas from the top, at the stem, but it doesn't always work right. You end up breaking the banana in half or squishing it, and if that happens to you, well, it's because you've been peeling them the wrong way. Monkeys eat bananas, they peel them on their own, and they don't damage the fruit. So how do they do it? Well, they peel them from the bottom. The bottom of the banana has no stem. It's actually very easy to peel. If you peel a banana like a monkey from the bottom instead of the top, you'll never eat a damaged banana ever again, and all those little stringy things, they tend to go away at the same time. Number 7. Pitting a cherry. Pitting a cherry isn't the easiest thing in the world. If you have a stick and a small bottle, well, you can quickly pit a whole bag of cherries. Simply put the cherry over the opening of the bottle. Use a stick to push the pit through the bottom. In the end, you'll have a pitted cherry, and all the pits will go into the bottle so you won't make a mess. Ta-da! Genius! Number 8. Eating cupcakes. Cupcakes are delicious, aren't they? The best part of the cupcake, at least to me, is the frosting. How about you? Well, see, the only problem, though, is that once you eat the top of the cupcake, you end up with the rest of the cake and it has no frosting. If you know how to eat a cupcake, though, every bite will have frosting. All you gotta do is twist the top of the cupcake off and then flip it upside down on top of the frosting. It makes a little cupcake frosting sandwich, and that way you'll be able to enjoy every last bite. Number 9. Drinking a beer. There is nothing better than a cold beer on a hot day, but how could you possibly do that wrong? Well, the only problem is that the beer can get warm quickly if you don't hold the bottle properly. Beer bottles have long necks. The bottleneck isn't there just to make the bottle look nice. It's actually there to keep the beer from getting warm from your body heat when you pick it up. You're supposed to hold the beer by the neck. If you haven't been doing that all along, your beer has been warming up a lot faster than it should. Number 10. Cleaning your blender. Most people clean their blender all wrong. They'll scrub the blender the same way that they would when they wash a glass, and that's a mistake. Not only will it be tough to get everything off the bottom, trying to get in between those blades, which are sharp and you might cut yourself while cleaning this thing, well, the proper way to clean a blender is just to pour some dish liquid into the bottom of the blender, add some hot water, and then blend the soap and water like you would food or a shake. Do it for a couple of minutes, your blender will be clean, and you won't need a Band-Aid afterwards. Number 11. Storing your peanut butter. Most people put their peanut butter in the cupboard standing straight up. But don't do it that way. If you store your peanut butter upside down, the oil will flow to the cover of the jar, making each bite of peanut butter taste its best. Number 12. Putting a key on the ring. If you've ever tried to put a new key on your key ring, you know that it's a lot harder than it sounds. The quickest and easiest way to put a key on the ring is to use a staple remover. You can pinch the key ring with the staple remover and easily slide your key onto the ring. You never need to worry about breaking a fingernail ever again. Number 13. Using earbuds. Most people will put their earbuds in their ears and just let the wire hang down the side of the ear. Well, you can still hear the music that way, but the earbuds will also fall out more easily. The proper way to wear earbuds is to put them in your ear and then wrap the wire around the top of your ear. You'll never need to worry about the earbud falling out again during your favorite song. Number 14. Using a ketchup cup. If you love to dip your whole French fry in ketchup, you know that ketchup cups can make that kind of difficult. They're pretty small, so you can usually only get the top of your fry in the ketchup. If you spread the edges of the cup out, though, you can make it bigger. That allows you to put a lot more ketchup in the cup, and you should be able to cover your entire French fry with each dip. Number 15. Eating Chinese food. The takeout containers that Chinese restaurants use, they're more than just containers. If you open the sides of the container, you can create the perfect paper plate to eat your food from. You should understand that you can't close up the container afterwards, though. If you think you're going to have leftovers, you should go to the cupboard and get a plate or a bowl. Number 16. Making spaghetti without making a mess. Spaghetti is delicious. The only problem with spaghetti, though, is that it can be kind of messy when you're making it. Rather than putting a spoonful of sauce on the counter, you should use the hole at the end of the pan handle. The hole will hold the spoon over the pan, keeping the counter and the stove clean. If you thought the purpose of that hole on the pan handle was just to hang it on the wall, well, you are half right. It does that too. Number 17. Emergency ink. Man, isn't it awful when your printer runs out of ink and you only have 1 or 2 pages left to print? Well, rather than going to the office supply store and purchasing more ink, there is a way that you can print a few emergency pages using a paperclip. If you unbend the paperclip and use it to pop the reset button, you'll be able to get your last few pages printed. Number 18. Drinking soda through a straw. If you've ever tried to drink soda from a can using a straw, you know that the carbonation will always push that straw right up and sometimes completely out of the soda can. If that happens, it's because you're doing it wrong. There is a hole in the tab of a soda can. After you open the can, turn the tab over the opening. If you put your straw through that hole, it'll keep the straw in the can and the carbonation won't be pushing it up. Number 19. Scribbling out your writing. If you wrote something that you didn't mean to and you try to cross it out, well, you don't want other people to see what you wrote in error, right? Crossing those words out's not going to be enough then. Instead, write letters over those words that you want to cross out. It makes it almost impossible for somebody to read what you had originally written. Number 20. Making a bologna sandwich. Bologna sandwiches are delicious. The only problem is that most brands of bologna are round and the bread is square. Who thought up that plan? Well, when you take a bite out of a corner of the sandwich then, you get a mouthful of bread, practically no meat. Even if you overlap 2 pieces, you still get no meat in each corner. That's because you're making your bologna sandwich the wrong way. Here's how you do it. Start by tearing both pieces of bologna in half. Put the 2 halves at the bottom of the sandwich, the other 2 halves on the sides. That'll cover the entire surface of the bread, so that way you get a mouthful of meat in each bite. Subscribe for more!